This channel is dedicated to discussing various ways of dealing with death and dying, and I would be remiss if I don't address my own death and dying and how I view it from time to time. And, I've been updating my body disposition plans with the funeral home owner, and it just made me think of what method of death would I prefer. Not that we have a choice per se, but I wanted to at least share my thoughts about that and ask you to stay tuned to future videos as I maybe share with you my preferred way to die. It may surprise you, but if we're honest, most of us probably would just say, I'd rather die at an old age and just turn off like a switch, maybe drift off, go to sleep, and not wake up, painless, so to speak. We don't have a choice in the matter, and probably very few of us die that way. Most of us will deal with a protracted long illness, suffering, and some of us will die by accident, suddenly. There's just so many ways that it can happen, right? So with that being said, it's difficult to think about sometimes because today could be my last day. Tonight could be my last night. Again, that's why you want to go ahead and make these plans ahead of time. With this video, I think I'll focus on the sudden accidental death. When people wake up in the morning, they don't anticipate that day would be their last day, but a truck drifting across the line, someone texting and driving, or us just losing control of the vehicle, a hydroplaning in wet weather could be our end as we crash into a tree. With that being said, why not go ahead and have your final wishes in place just in case? Because no one wakes up in the morning and says, today I'll have an accident. By definition, accidents can't be predicted. So if that's one way to die, one way to leave this world, an accident, many have accidents every day and die. So that could be one way. It shouldn't, I don't think it'd be my choice per se, but hey, this is something that we have to deal with. This is something that could happen. It probably may have happened to you or someone you love. But the other side of things, if I were to die by an accident at this age of 59, would that necessarily be such a bad thing? I would avoid the protracted, long, suffering illness that I described earlier. Matters as far as long-term care would be taken care of because I wouldn't be a burden to my families as they act as caregivers if I were to deal with a long sickness or illness. So an accident actually would take care of business. But the thing about it is you want to have lived a life that you can say, I'm content that I have exhausted this body. I have challenged it. I have not let my body sit in a garage and decay. I've had a good life. So because accidents can't be predicted, wouldn't it be nice to say if I were to have an accident, my family would have a record of the fact that Charlie says he lived a good life and has absolutely no regrets as far as living and treating people the best he could. Certainly, there's some things we could have done better, but overall, very content. So in a sense, I'm preparing my family, my loved ones, my friends for an event I were to have an accident. They would have a record on YouTube as far as what I thought about different ways to die. Point is, at this age, I wouldn't necessarily say ready, but I'm certainly prepared. Stay tuned to future videos as we talk more about different ways I could die. I know it sounds morbid, but hey, this is my style, this is my flow, this is how I confront the inevitable. I hope you'll stay tuned. Take care.